Hello, my name is Grzegorz Pytel. Welcome to the next episode of Storware Academy. Today, I will take you to the world of hyperconvergence infrastructure and show you how to protect Nutanix Acropolis hypervisor with Storware Backup and Recovery. Before we will start, you need to be aware of a couple of things, some prerequisites that you need to meet before you start to protect your Nutanix infrastructure. The first is that Storware consists of two main components. The first one is Storware Server, which is a kind of a manager, and the second one is Storware Node, that is a worker that do all the dirty jobs that are done underneath the backup tasks. So to protect Nutanix hypervisor, you need to have at least one node deployed inside each Nutanix cluster to make the backups possible. So today my infrastructure is already set up. So I have my node deployed on my hypervisor and my Storware server running outside Nutanix infrastructure. I will show you how to see configuration of my node. So this is Storware Web UI. And before we start, let's jump to the node. Here we see node 1 and node that is called Nutanix node. The first one is built-in node that is responsible for doing the backups of internal database. The second one is a node that resides on a Nutanix hypervisor and will be responsible for doing the backups of Nutanix virtual machines. I also already configured my backup destination, which will be where I will be storing the data of my backups from Nutanix infrastructure. So my node is ready, my backup destination is ready, and now I'm ready to go. I can configure my Nutanix infrastructure. So let's go to virtual environments, virtualization providers, and now I need to provide the address of Nutanix hypervisor manager. In this case, this is address of Nutanix element, but you can also use Nutanix Prism Central. This is the two different hypervisor managers provided by Nutanix, and of course you can use both of them together with Storware Backup and Recovery. So let's start with creating a new virtualization provider. Let's choose our technology, so it would be Nutanix Prism. Now I will pass the address of my hypervisor manager and my credentials, so give me just a moment. I also need to choose the proper node configuration to point that I would like to use a node that resides inside my Nutanix infrastructure. And I'm ready to go. I can save in this configuration. Automatically after saving, I will be asked to run an inventory synchronization task. During this task, we'll be gathering all the information about my infrastructure configuration. So yes, I would like to continue this task. And at the bottom in the workflow execution console, we will see a new task that is called inventory synchronization. We need to wait for a couple of seconds to this task to be completed. As you can see, my inventory synchronization task is finished with no success. We can see the details, and we will see a brief information about the synchronization task failed and information that is a problem with a certificate. This is because this is a self-signed certificate, so I need to open configuration of my hypervisor. Once again, I need to edit the settings and go to the certificates. Here I need to toggle the switch that is called Trust All Certificates. I need to confirm and save my configuration. And now I can run my inventory synchronization once again. If I go to the work execution console, a new task will appear once again, and in a minute we will see that this synchronization should be succeed. As you can see, this time the inventory synchronization task is completed with a success. So I can go to the instances. Here I will see all virtual machines that reside on my hypervisor on my Nutanix. So now what I can do is to configure my backup SLA. A backup SLA, in a simple words, this is a set of policies together with the schedules for my virtual machines. So I will create new policy. I will call it Nutanix VMs. Here we have a couple of, I think, useful options, because we can use our auto assignment mechanism. In this case, we can use tags or regular expressions to automatically assign new VMs to this policy. In case we have a bigger infrastructure, bigger environment, a lot of virtual machines that are fluctuating a lot, we don't want to remember to add each new VM separately to this policy. So we can enable this feature by choosing assign only or assign and remove. We can prepare a set of tags or regular expressions based rules, and if a new VM will appear and another inventory synchronization task will be triggered, this task need to be triggered at least once a day. So the new VM that met these conditions will be automatically assigned to this policy. So this is quite convenient for administrators. But we can also choose VMs manually. To do this, we need to go to the Virtual Environments tab. We need to find a VM that we want to back up. So today I will choose my Alpine VM. And now we need to prepare a rule. A rule is a set of information about the backup destination where I want to store my data, about the retention, so I can prepare retention based on a number of days or based on a number of versions to keep. The first condition that will be met in these settings will be valid for this rule. We also have a immutable backup settings, so we can set a number of days through which the backups will be immutable in this backup destination. And now I can prepare schedules. So let's say the first schedule will be full one, so let's call it weekly full. And I want to run my full backups on Mondays at 6 p.m. Let's save it. And I will prepare another schedule. This one will be incremental, and let's call it daily incremental. And this schedule will be run through the rest of the days during the week, so from Tuesday to Sunday. Also, it can be run at 6 p.m. Let's save it. And now I have two schedules in my rule. I can save my policy. I'm ready to go. I can start doing my backups. Of course, I can wait to the schedule to execute this backup. I can also execute it from the backup SLA's view by hitting this button that is called backup right here. In case I would have more than just one machine inside this policy, this would trigger a backup for all machines inside the policy. And I can also go to the instances view. I can find my machine with assigned policy, and I can run backup for a single machine by hitting this backup button right here. So let's start a new backup. The first one needs to be, of course, a full backup, and a new task will appear at work execution console. So we can drill down to see the details, to see the subtasks for this backup job. And now we need to wait a couple of minutes to backup to be completed. As you can see, my backup task is finished with a success. So now I can go back to the instances list, and I can see the details of my virtual machine. I need to click on the name of a VM. Here I will see some brief information about the hypervisor manager where my virtual machine is placed. I will see some statistics about backups, about restoration, some daily statistics as well. I can switch to backup statistics, restore statistics separately if I've done some restores. But what I will see right here at this left menu, I can see the backups that are available for this machine. So this is my backup. I can do some adjustments to the retention. If I hit the adjust retention button, I can use the retention from the policy, but I can also mark a backup to keep and choose another date, or I can mark backup as expired. So in this case, with the next backup task, this particular backup will be removed in the same way as a backup with a expired retention. I can go to see the backup history. Here I will see some backup tasks that have been done for this machine, no matter if they were successful or unsuccessful. I can see the brief information about what was the problem, what was the issue if something went wrong. There are also restore history, snapshots, because for doing this backup, we are doing the backup on hypervisor manager side, and we see information that this snapshot is current for incremental backups. I can see the snapshot history, so there is one snapshot for this VM. I can see the disks that are connected to this machine. For example, if the machine have a more than one disk, I can use this column exclude from backup to choose which disks I don't want to backup in my backup task. I can also see the schedules assigned to this machine. And now I think I will run another backup. This one will be incremental, so let's hit the backup button once again. I will choose the incremental and run another backup task. In the meantime, there is a few options of restoration. Here we have a restore button, so we can restore a virtual machine back to the hypervisor manager, or we can restore the raw data to our node and work with it with some external tools that can be used to play with raw data. Let's check a work execution console. And right now we can see that another backup task is running. This one will be incremental. I think that now we will wait a few minutes to this task to be completed. I hope I think this one will be done faster, because this is incremental. There were no big changes to this machine, so it is almost done. And in a minute I will show you some other useful restoration options that can be done to virtual machines from our backups. Alright, so this task is also completed, and now let's do some restores. I will be restoring my virtual machine back to the hypervisor manager. So here we have a restoration wizard. We can choose a point in time, so the backup that we want to restore from it. We can choose a hypervisor manager where we are going to restore our virtual machine. Right now I have only one manager, but let's say I will have more than one Nutanix connected to my Storware Backup and Recovery. Then I can restore this VM to the different manager than the source one. Of course, you can think that I can also do cross-platform restoration. As for now, this is not available in Storware, but maybe in future this option will be added to our software. Then I can choose a Nutanix cluster when I want to restore my virtual machine. I can change the name of VM during the restoration, so let's call it Alpine VM1 restore. We can go next. Here we can choose the container where we want to place the disk of our virtual machine. I will use the default one. Then we can choose networking. Let's say we have more than just one network configured in our environment, so we can connect this machine to the different network. We can go next. We can also delete the original virtual environment, original VM, if it already exists in our hypervisor. We can choose to power it on after restoration. Then we can go to the summary, check the chosen features, and we can restore this virtual machine. And once again, a new task will appear in work execution console. We can see the details of this task, and now we have to wait a couple of minutes to this task to be completed. As you can see, my restoration task is completed. So now I will go back to the virtualization providers. I will rerun the inventory synchronization with my infrastructure. And after this task will be completed, we should see a new restored VM from my lately done backup. So let's check the inventory synchronization. Alright, so now we can refresh the instances list. And here is a new VM that is called Alpine VM1 restore. This is what I just restored from my backup. This is not the only option, because in Storware you can also do granular restoration of the data from the VM backup. Here we have a button that is called Mount. If I do this, I can also choose the point in time from which I would like to mount data. I can mount a file system from this VM automatically. I can also choose a specify file system to be mounted, or I can even make a ice cache share and mount it to the different machine. This time I will be mounting this file system automatically. Let's mount it, and here at the mounted backup tab, a new mount task will appear. We need to wait to this task to be completed. We can see the progress in a work execution console. And now my mount is completed, so I can refresh this page and I can see the details of this mount, and I can browse the file system of this VM. So now I can find a particular path, a single file. Let's say I want to restore only one file from my backup. So now I can choose it. I can download it from the web UI, or I can configure the remote upload. So let's say I want to restore it to the original machine, then I need to provide a host address, destination path. I can use SSH or WinRM access depending on which operating system is running on this machine, and of course I need to create a set of credentials of a user that has a right to write data to the chosen path. Of course, this data won't last at our node forever. By default, it would be unmounted after 24 hours, but I can also unmount it manually from this view right now. So I will do this, and now in a minute my data will become unavailable, but I will reclaim the space for another backups, for another mount or restoration process of my virtual environments. So this is how, in brief words, you can protect your Nutanix environment with Storware Backup and Recovery. Today I show you how to add hypervisor manager. Once again, it can be Nutanix Prism Central or Nutanix Prism Element. I show you how to configure backup destination, how to configure backup SLA, how to run the backups, how to do the restores, both restoration back to the virtualization environment, or granular recovery of a single files from the backup of our virtual machines. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful portion of knowledge how to protect your Nutanix-based environment with Storware Backup and Recovery. I invite you to our next episodes of Storware Academy.